step into the game. We the Curry brothers, night and day network. We bring awareness to the community, spreading consciousness. With the truth we chase greatness. In the darkness we shine like the brightest stars, using our platform to break mental prisons. You know who we are. From the streets to the stage we never back down. Constantly evolving, we wear the crown. Mindful warriors, we're changing the game. Never staying the same. Night and day network, we're here to stay. Bring awareness and consciousness every single.
Don't be fooled by the internet. It's cool to get on the computer, but don't let the computer get on you. It's cool to use the computer, don't let the computer use you. You all saw The Matrix. There's a war going on, the battlefield's in the mind. The prize is the soul.
What's up, y'all? What's going on?
Yeah. What in the hell is going on out here?
Man, we gotta get into the Tate brothers, man. We gotta get into this Tate situation. That seems like them brothers.
Show you.
Them brothers.
You got too much influence. Man, they a threat to somebody over there because
Romania.
they got a lot of influence.
Yep.
And when we say, when some of these celebrities got a lot of influence, that could be a threat to national security.
Yes, sir.
Especially if they saying things that the establishment don't like.
And they say a lot of stuff the establishment don't like.
They not just say a lot of stuff, they do a lot of stuff
Do a lot
the
of things,
establishment don't like.
Hey, y'all, what's going on, y'all? Make sure y'all come in here and hit the like button, ladies.
Smash that like button, man.
We're going to get into it. So the Tate brothers being arrested. They in the media again for being arrested. For sex trafficking again. They trying to get them on sex trafficking again. And yeah, so pretty much they've been arrested and they've been released again. So we wanted to go ahead and get into the when they got arrested. Let's go ahead and get into this, straight into this. Make sure you hit that like button. Let's go ahead and get
Say I'm a lover boy, the mother of my children. Yeah, the mother we tricked them into having kids. Unbelievable. Wait till you see. Remember the first file and the media wasn't asking, where's the evidence? This is your chance. This is your chance to renew it. There's no evidence.
You are okay?
Yeah, for now. Compulsion people, we have to. Compulsion. Kids don't know. Guys, ask them for evidence. The first file, no evidence. It was all a lie. Ask them this time where the evidence is. This is the most crazy. They have no evidence, no proof. They just made up a bunch of shit. They're lying and they're desperate. This file is more pathetic than the first one.
Christ is king. Jesus said, give you other chiefs. He didn't say go and try to create whatever engagement matrix you are all here trying to do.
He said, I heard him say, he said something about, they said he tricked his baby mamas into having kids with him. And then, that's weird, bro. That's what he said. He said, so they basically trying to convict them with no evidence. They trying to find something on them, but they can't find nothing. And
they are trying to say that they human traffic their baby mothers. That don't even make no damn sense.
No sense, bro. That's wild.
Oh, they just trying to find any old thing on them at this point. Even if they gotta make some shit up, that's what they gotta do. Man.
Damn. Yeah. So they've been released since then. They got released the same, maybe like that morning. They got released. So let's go ahead and get into their then they did a little press conference too. So let's go ahead and get into this.
You are okay? Free man, built differently. Yes? Built differently. Of course. Better than okay. Oh, are free? Free. Listen, I'm going to say something to everybody. Listen to me. I moved to Romania 10 years ago, and I found an amazing country full of beautiful people. And I told the whole world about Romania. If you mention the name Romania anywhere in the world, they'll say, Andrew Tate lives there, Andrew Tate lives there. I've done nothing but promote this country. I've done nothing but say fantastic things about Romania endlessly. And when I did this, people would say to me, if Romania is so nice, if it's so safe, it's so beautiful, why has it got such a bad reputation? And I said, well, there's probably a few bad actors, a few bad people who destroyed the entire reputation. Like the few fools at DCOT who just came along and told us that the mothers of our children are somehow human trafficked. I've been nice. I've been patient. I've played the game. I've respected the judiciary. 30 saying we've done absolutely nothing wrong. Two more are the mothers of our children, and 2 more have never even been to Romania. They've never even been here. They just found random girls we knew in other countries and made them sign pieces of paper. This is a setup. It's absolutely disgusting. Fair play to that judge who saw through the bullshit and let us free. Okay. And also, one more thing. The media is complicit. All of you are. When they first threw us in fucking jail, when they first put us in there, you're all running around saying human trafficker. None of you said, where's the evidence? Where's the proof? Where's the pictures? Where's the videos? None. 3 years later, they do the same fucking bullshit. And you're all sitting there going, human trafficking. I'm not a human trafficker, clearly. If you human traffic someone, there is evidence. This is a setup. It's a stitch up. The 3 prosecutors at DCOT in my house, I said, why are you here? There's no case. They said, there's a case if we make one. This is a fucking setup. All of it is. And listen, quiet.
That shit sound like a whole movie.
Quiet. This is a setup. It is done 30 saying we've done absolutely.
They say it's a case if we make one. That sounds like some super villain. That sounds like some super villain type of shit. That's what they told him when he said, "You ain't got no case here. There's a case if we make one."
So they went and got these dug up these niggas' baby mothers to get them to sign paperwork about some type of trafficking. Right. And then he said 2 other women that never been to Romania.
They just made them sign some papers and shit.
Saying what? So what you think? Yeah. Why do you think they have these
people out here signing papers and they ain't know what the hell they was signing? What they ain't read? They ain't got to sign papers and shit. That's crazy. So it sounds like somebody got it out for these 2. Obviously they don't want them to proceed in whatever they're doing out there. Rather it's the influencing or teaching people how to make money or whatever the hell they doing. They did something that the establishment don't like, obviously.
And they can't leave.
It seemed like they doing the same thing to Diddy, right?
Yeah.
Because they ain't really got no solid evidence on Diddy neither. But and look, they taking these 2 to jail and they ain't got no evidence on them. And Diddy's out. So that's even crazy. So it's like they use the same tactics. It's almost like scare tactics.
Yeah, they
ain't really got nothing on them, but they just, you know what I mean, still effing with them because they basically want them to get out of Romania. That's what it is.
They can't leave.
They don't want them there.
They can't leave.
Yeah, but they there just to F with them and so they can milk them. They don't like the fact that they got more, that they bought more cars, and because they took all the other stuff the first time. They confiscated all their stuff the first time. Yeah, they confiscated and just took all that stuff. They don't like the fact that they got it all back again. Yeah, basically what they're doing is like you gotta pay a fee for living here. Those Bugattis and all that stuff and your jail time, that was your fee for living here. If you want to continue to live here, you gotta understand this is how it's gonna work. That's what it seems like is going on over there. They sound like they just as corrupt as everywhere else in the world.
All right.
Ain't no difference. Corrupt is corrupt. Damn. Shit is over. Shit is over there. Shit is over here. Because you want to talk about corrupt, man. I think the USA takes the cake.
So the US take the cake.
Yeah, hell yeah. What? Everybody knows it. So if they doing those tactics over there, I mean, so it's like that everywhere. But we already know who takes the cake in the world. Everybody knows it.
America.
Yep, everybody knows that shit, bro. Except America. Everybody knows that except America. The last ones to find out. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, but that's just how it is sometimes, you know? That's how it happens in history. You always have a young nation rise up like the United States and all that, and then you know, they don't survive that long because it was rotten.
Right to the core.
Yep, that's what happens. Or just get changed, get conquered and changed again, rearranged, restructured.
I see.
Yeah, they were fighters at first. They were kickboxing fighters at first, and then they started doing influencing. Started just, you know, going live and shit like that, and, you know, talking they shit.
Yeah.
Teaching people how they became successful or whatnot. Oh yeah, they was doing the sex cam shit too though. That's what they tried to get with the first time. Yeah, they was doing the sex cam shit before there was OnlyFans. So they was into that shit before all that sex cam shit, like in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. That's these niggas right here. Or
yeah, but a lot of that shit with the women was consensual because the women came out and spoke on their behalf and said a lot of the stuff they was doing on the camera was consensual.
Yeah, but everything was consensual. Facts. They didn't never traffic nobody.
No.
Not that we know of, but there's no evidence. There's no evidence out there that they did that. All it is just the media saying it and certain platforms saying it. But every time it goes to court, there's no evidence. What are you gonna do? I mean, we know how this system works. Now, mind you, these two dudes, even though they from England and live in Romania, they dad was some black man from Chicago.
Chicago, yeah, they dad from Chicago.
Right. So
famous chess player. He's a teacher, chess player.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, they from Chicago.
So, yeah,
from west side of Chicago at that.
They might not really like their kind over there also, so you got to keep that in mind. I don't even know if they considered that shit or not. And plus they over there talking that shit, like they big influencers over there in mainly in the UK and all, but I guess over here in the States too, a lot of people know about this dude. Both of them, him and his brother. Hey man, you know, it's the same game everywhere in the world. It just goes to show you, it's just not the United States, it's everywhere.
There's a quick clip
you say something they don't like and you got influence, they coming after you, no matter what. Kelly sitting in jail. Bill was supposedly in jail. We don't know how, you know, when niggas start talking stuff and start making moves independent of the system and they got a lot of influence, this is the type of stuff that happens. Until everybody do something about it collectively, it's going to keep continuing. Shit. Fuck, the same shit every day. Everywhere around the world, every day, the same shit.
Politicians gay. That's another thing. And that is what kind of leads me to believe that a lot of these people are being blackmailed and they're being selected for these positions. I mean, Emmanuel Macron is a homosexual. There's no question about that. Zelensky is a homosexual. You've got, I was going to say, I almost said Fidel Castro. Trudeau, Fidel's son. You got Trudeau, he's a homosexual. Barack Obama was a homosexual. And then finally, when we get in the West, a president who's definitely not a homosexual, Donald Trump, they just freak out. They completely lose their minds. This guy cannot be president. He's not allowed to be president because there's no aspect of the most extreme form of blackmail, which is like, if we know that you have engaged in pedophilia, that you've been involved in any of these weird sexual scenarios, we can control you in office. Yeah. And there's obviously the deep state thing is not a conspiracy theory. It's part of the reason why they didn't want Tucker to conduct that interview with Putin, because the first thing Putin said is like, you know, I don't deal with your president. I'm dealing with the CIA. Yeah. Right. That is the deep state. He's like, the president, I don't talk to him. Yeah. The CIA is who's controlling your nations, which means that our democracy, the republic, it's an illusion. Politicians.
You know, they don't like Candace Owens because
she out there talking like that.
Yeah.
She's still walking around. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't know that information. A lot of people don't believe that information. Now, all the stuff with her saying, talking about their sexual, we don't know what those niggas do behind the scenes. That they could, we don't know. Niggas don't know. But the part where she was saying who runs the United States, she's partially right about that. That's definitely a factor. But people sort of know that, but they don't really think about that. Because if you really think of how things are being ran here, obviously there's something much bigger going on. The presidents ain't really got as much power as we think they do. That's obvious. That's why I say they never gonna get the shit done that you want, that they promise you. All that shit that they be promising y'all niggas, y'all think they gonna do all that for everybody? Yeah, all right. Shit ain't happening. Just ain't happening.
All right, let me see if I can pull this up. Because you know, they was on I think Andrew Tate was on Candace Owens. So
yeah, you already know, you say too much with that type of influence, they coming after you.
Then we only talk about Big Pharma and all that.
Time I was ever super heavily attacked by the Matrix is when I said depression wasn't real. And the backlash was incredible.
Because drugs. They drug these kids out of their minds.
That's right. They were so desperate to try and convince me or demonize me for saying depression wasn't real. And I was like, look, feeling depressed is real, but I believe you have control of your own mind and it's down to you to fix it. You don't need drugs and you haven't caught a disease. You just need to change your scenario, change your settings. I know that mental health issues are real, of course. What I'm trying to say is that depression as an idea in the West is so massively overprescribed that it no longer has any value.
It's just sadness.
It's just sadness.
You're just sad. That's a normal human emotion. Like, go outside, go for a run, hang out with your friends.
That's right. I see
that's going to keep coming. Like waves of sadness. We're all sad. We get sad sometimes.
Completely. I see it all the time. I see men to me, oh, I'm depressed. I look at them and say, I'd be depressed too if I was you. You're a loser. Like, of course you're depressed. Your life's because you're a loser because you've achieved nothing. You can only talk freely when nobody listens. If people listen to you and you talk freely, you soon realize that there really isn't that much freedom of speech because they will come for you and they will try and wreck you with everything they can. The first...
You see, he just to tell you the truth, he telling how it is, though. That you can't be like that out here and run the drugs for everything. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, that's what America teaches you, that drugs is pretty much, depression. They quick to prescribe you something for depression and it's just normal human emotions. I mean, a lot of it's come from pressure from society. A lot of people can't, maybe measure their lives up to other people's lives, or they might envy people that have what they can't have, or simple trauma. Things like trauma happen. That could, like he said, I believe you could be depressed, but I don't feel like you need drugs to help you out to get out of a funky situation. I think you can pretty much
run into the drugs all the time part.
I mean, I'm not against people talking to a psychiatrist or some type of person that they can talk to really help them work out their situation. But I don't think you need to be on any heavy drugs like that just to cope with the things that you deal with. I think a simple talking, being around certain energies that can actually help you cope through situations. Like it
exercise and diet.
Exercise, diet. And just be around good energy, people with good energy, period, that can actually help you sort through some shit.
Exercise and diet really helps with mental health.
Yeah, it
Make
actually
sure you
does.
ain't eating Make sure you ain't eating chemicals, because chemicals is gonna make you depressed, because those are hardcore drugs
Yeah,
that's in the food.
yeah.
Hardcore drugs. Niggas be, oh, is it healthy? Let me look at the calories and the fat. Let me see if it's healthy or not. Nah, nigga, read those ingredients and look at those damn chemicals that's in that. That's why you depressed. That shit's effing with your brain. Yeah, there's a chemical imbalance. Stop eating on goddamn chips and all that bullshit all the time.
And if you
Get
do
some
eat it in
sunlight.
moderate,
Drink
eat it
some
in moderation. Don't let that be
clean
part of your
water.
diet every day. Like
Drink
make
some
it
clean water.
drink clean water, definitely clean water.
Man,
Because a
get
lot of
some
that shit.
sunlight and drink clean water, man. And exercise. Shit. That really helps with mental health. It
Yeah,
really
it
do.
does.
People don't realize how much of a difference that make. How much of the chemicals we being exposed to and how that mess with our mental. Because you
And
gotta
just be
understand, it's all hormonal. And all that stuff, the dopamines and all that stuff is hormones. Serotonin, dopamines, insulin, all that all them hormones in your body are being disrupted with all them different chemicals that we being exposed to every day. So we are already being exposed to the drugs. And then they give you other drugs to counteract those drugs that you're getting in your food. So now you just on this constant slope of just constant drugs from the food and from what you're being prescribed, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
all right. Facts.
Not even realizing all them damn chemicals that you putting in your body that you don't need.
Facts.
People just need to keep shit simple. Keep your diet simple. Stop eating all that fast food and shit. Keep the diet simple. You know what I mean? Keep your lifestyle simple. That's how you start to heal. You know what
I
I
wanted to
mean?
play
And
this video too.
separate from all this bullshit out here. Because everybody's being poisoned. That's how you get over depression.
Hey, I wanted to play this video too, because there's a lot of this going on, a lot of shit that they doing with our food. Yeah, it's a lot of shit they doing with our food, bro. So I wanted to pull this video up real quick. We meant to do a live stream on this. Maybe do a live stream on this. We might want to do
Just mention that, John, real quick. Pull it up, and then we clip that and put it out later. Put it out on, you know what I mean, as another video.
All right, so it's been reports that rocket fuel, it's called perchlorate, which is being used in food products, and what they use for rocket fuel. We posted this on TikTok, and I posted this on the other day. I posted it on Instagram. So I wanted to play this because we was made it, supposed to do a live stream on it, but I forgot. There's been a lot of other stuff going on, but this is definitely something we need to spin the block on and do something with, So let's go ahead and get into this.
Smash that like button if y'all have.
Yeah. Before we start, please make sure y'all hit the like button. Shout out to my baby in the building, my incoming. Thank you for sharing the live stream too. Appreciate it. Yep. Yeah. All right, we at 45. Let's get them Jones at least to 50 real quick. 5 more likes, man. We go ahead and run this video real quick. Go ahead and smash that like button if you didn't yet. What's up, Brad? Don Fears, KNTQ, Ingrid Scott, Nicole Coley, The Golden Child, Cat 21. What's up, y'all? Shout out to y'all that's here. Nomi B. Shout out to y'all that's here. 2 more likes and we go ahead and run this video.
Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn button.
Yep. I think we good. Salute. What up, Don Ferris? All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and run this real quick.
Reports investigation reveals a harsh chemical more commonly used by rockets, missiles, and explosives is making surprise appearances at your dinner table. It's essentially rocket fuel found in food. Joy Purdy explains experts say it can have dangerous health consequences.
It's hardly a household name, but perchlorate is a chemical that helps rockets reach for the stars and, alarmingly, also our dinner plates.
Perchlorates can enter our food and water via water that's used to irrigate the crops. It can also be contained in the plastic containers that we use to store our food.
How serious is the problem? Consumer Reports' recent tests found perchlorate in 2/3 of food samples, with the highest levels in baby and kids' food, fast food, also in boxed mac and cheese and baby rice cereal, and even in some seemingly healthier options like cucumbers and baby carrots. While no single serving exceeded safety limits, multiple servings throughout the day could add up to concerning levels, especially for kids.
We're concerned because perchlorate can disrupt thyroid function, potentially affecting metabolism in adults and brain development in children.
Consumer Reports reached out to several food companies, including major baby food manufacturers, about these findings. None have provided comments so far about whether they're aware of or are taking steps to minimize it in their products. And if you're wondering whether scientists only just discovered perchlorate as a problem in water and food, think again. It's been a known contaminant for years.
Unfortunately, while our federal regulators have known about this problem for decades, they have been slow to act.
The EPA is now under court order to propose limits on perchlorate in drinking water by November of 2025. But Consumer Reports says there are things you can do now to improve the safety of the food you feed your family.
Parents should be aware of these issues, but should not panic. They can reduce the risk of these chemicals to their children by feeding them a varied and healthy diet.
Also, getting adequate iodine intake can help
But they
offset
shut whole
perchlorate's effects.
farms down.
Foods like whole wheat
for
bread,
nothing.
seafood,
Because the cows'
dairy
hearts is
products,
what-
and eggs help you get your daily dose of iodine without the extra sodium from iodized salt.
Perchlorate can also contaminate drinking water. Consumer Reports suggest that you check your water report or have your water tested and add a reverse osmosis water filter if necessary.
Bro, this shit, bro, I'm telling you, this shit is crucial, bro.
A new
Now,
All the poison, all these damn poisons in all of our food and products.
yep. Oh, thanks.
And they've been coming at people
too. Yeah.
And they've been coming at people for years for cannabis, coming at people, farmers for selling raw milk, or some people call it fresh milk. You know what I'm saying? Literally SWAT team and farms with just like, farmer people on there, people who ain't got a violent bone in their body, and they sending SWAT teams in there, shooting their animals and pouring out all their milk and all their cheeses and stuff, and destroying all they farm basically.
All right.
For nothing. But they allow these corporations to put all this damn poison in the food though. Y'all niggas don't realize y'all under attack yet?
Hold on though, bro. They said, but they not talking about pulling that shit off the shelf. Them niggas is talking about
I know, keeping it on there. Right.
On the shelf, but basically using it,
lowering the limits.
Lowering the limits. Nah,
yeah, lowering the limits of the fucking poison.
Off the goddamn shelf. What the hell wrong with them? Lowering the limits.
Yeah, and people need to go to jail for even allowing that in the food. The same way you've been treating the farmers.
Bro, if we was to make food and put all that shit in there, we'd go to fuck the jail, bro. We'd go to jail instantly if we was to make food.
Nigga, they already been taking farmers to jail and killing their animals, bro, for nothing. Because they want the factory shit. They want y'all niggas to eat plant-based so you can only eat the meat that they create in the laboratory and shit. And that shit ain't healthy. That's all chemicals too. All that shit is, you read all them ingredients, all that shit is made in a laboratory. People think the shit that's made in the laboratory is healthier. They literally poisoning us.
That motherfucker said lowering the limits though.
Lowering the limits of something that's literally poison, bro. That don't even need to be in the food. What is it in there for? But what? They didn't even give the reason why the shit was in there. They just said, oh, it's poison in the food. We're gonna make sure we lower the limit of the poison for the concern of y'all. Limit it. Take that shit all the way out. How did it get in there in the first place? Arrest those individuals.
Right.
The hell?
Motherfucker said lower than the limits though, bro. I can't deal. I can't deal, bro. Why motherfuckers ain't in handcuffs going to jail at this point? Like I said, if you and I was to make food and shit and put all that shit in there, we'd be in jail by tomorrow. Why ain't nobody in handcuffs? Why ain't nobody being, because it's really up to the people. It is. It is. I don't think it's up to the authorities and none of that shit. It's up to the people, the consumers.
People ain't realizing that these corporations been poisoning us all these years, and they've been blaming our genetics and shit.
Damn, the brat said she went to the Red Lobster and she been sick all day. God damn. God damn.
You said the brat?
Brat, right there. Said
oh my bad. I thought you said the brat. I thought you was talking about the brat because you said the brat went.
Nah, I said brat.
Where the fuck you see that at? Oh.
I went to Red Lobster and I've been sick all day. Brat. Damn, that shit crazy, bro.
You said the brat. Hell yeah, you said the brat. Everybody heard that shit.
All right, well, the brat, whatever.
All right, well, the brat.
So funkified. So funkified. Yeah, but damn, man. That's why I said that zeolite, man. That shit do work. That shit get rid of everything, man. That shit pull everything from your body. Everything that's built up, all the fluid retention and shit that's built up. That shit pull all that shit out. Like, you know what I mean?
All the reviews we've been getting and all the feedback we've been getting on the zeolite, man, has been amazing. It truly has.
Let me see. Let me pull this. Because man, it been helping a lot of people with their situations, man. I tell you that.
People gotta change the diet too. You gotta start reading the labels, start reading the ingredients, man. Look at, if you see any scientific shit on there, don't even buy it. It's to that point because all that shit is synthetic at this point. People need to go to the farmers. People need to go to butchers again, go to farmers again, directly. I just seen where they recalled all that Walmart meat and shit.
Yeah, they recalled
millions of pounds of Walmart meat.
It was 7 million pounds of meat they recalled back. They recalled all that shit back. I'm telling you, boy.
Yeah, that was Boar's Head, but then Walmart just did the same thing.
Yeah,
Walmart just did the same thing. Yeah, Walmart did the same thing with their meat, with their ground beef and all they beef and shit.
Yeah. Oh shit.
I'm like, all right, man. That shit is orchestrated.
Let me see.
They only pick and choose. They only pick and choose who because they got poisons all in the food, but then they talking about they getting niggas for E. coli and listeria and all that shit. But then it's poisons that's in the food. And they just talking about lowering the poison. Oh yeah, this is a deadly poison to humans. We realize that the limits are too high, so we're gonna have the EPA lower the limits by November 25th.
How about take the shit out the food? How about
take the shit out the food?
What they talking about? Lowering
and then arrest the individuals who put it in the food because they must be chemists, so they know what they was putting in the food. They intentionally poisoning people. You ain't gonna have no ingredient like that and not know what the fuck it is. So whoever put that in the food is literally trying to poison people. Because if we put that shit in our kids' food ourselves,
they go to jail.
Let's say we got the raw material of that shit that they using to put, and we started putting in our own kids' food, and they end up getting sick. And then we tell, oh, we was feeding them this, they be like, what you feed? That's poison. But they allowed to give us poison though. They allowed to give our kids poison.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy shit. So they should go to jail. You don't get away that easily of just paying a fine or being told you gotta lower the limit. Nah, man, whoever put that shit in the food needs to go to jail.
Right.
Like any other idiot would put that type of shit in the food, knowing that it's harmful, especially if they got some type of science degree in chemistry. Then you know what you was doing.
Dang.
You know what you were doing.
Yo, please.
That shit shouldn't even be in the food at all if it's carcinogenic. Why is it in the food?
Hit that like button, y'all. Y'all in here?
That's the shit that's causing depression. That's the shit that's causing the illnesses and the sickness.
Right.
Because a lot of countries that ban that, they just overall more healthy than the United States. You gotta think about it, the places in the world that adopted the United States diet with all them damn restaurants, KFCs and McDonald's and all that shit. They unhealthy, even though their shit is even more healthier than the McDonald's we have in the United States, but their shit is still unhealthy compared to their original foods over there overseas in certain countries that allowed that shit to get into their country. The McDonald's, the Pizza Huts, the Domino's. They over there poisoning people overseas with that shit, but it's still their version over there is still better than the United States version. Our shit is just complete 100% poison because we allow every chemical that every other country banned in our food.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, bro, we being effed up over here in the United States. People are just not getting it. And then people, yeah, man, diabetes run through. Yeah, my mom had diabetes, and yeah, it runs through my family. No, your whole family have been poisoned for generation after generation with all the chemicals they putting in our shit. It's not genetics. It's not like they got y'all niggas thinking, oh yeah, it's genetics. It's not genetics. Your ass is being poisoned. It's not genetics. You're being poisoned.
All right. Oh shit!
Simple
Shout out to Mollis. Clips. See, he started following our shit. Okay. Shout out to Mollis from the Clips. See, he started following our shit. That's what's up,
bro. They literally told us on the news, nigga, that it's poison in the food and that they just gonna lower the limit and not take it off the shelf.
All right,
they
so
gonna keep the poison in the food, bro.
Let's get into this real quick.
In our top story, we have a major warning for grocery shoppers. More than 200,000 pounds of deli meats have been recalled after a listeria outbreak. Experts say nationwide, 2 people have died due to the outbreak, including 1 in New Jersey and in New York. Several people are sick. John Diaz is joining us this morning from Flushing, Queens, with the very latest on all of it. John.
Yeah, good morning. Well, this wave of issues, well, it has now infected, listen to this, about 34 people, and that is nationwide. But experts, they say that after eating any contaminated meat, could take up to 2 months for anyone to develop symptoms. So that number of those infected, well, that can continue to grow in the coming days. Now, just yesterday on Friday, Stop & Shop temporarily closed its deli counters for a deep cleaning and to remove certain products after Boers had recalled more than 200,000 pounds of deli meat due to a listeria outbreak. That recall includes ready-to-eat liverwurst products and other meats normally sliced at your local deli. The CDC says that at least a dozen people were infected here in New York State, including 4 in this city and 2 over in New Jersey. And of the 2 fatalities nationwide, 1 was in New Jersey. Now, the CDC is urging consumers to throw away any recalled deli meat or reach out to their local stores for returns. Doctors say those who are immunocompromised are at greater risk.
They got severe disease, which can include what's called meningitis, and inflammation in the tissues around the brain, or the infection could go to the blood and cause what's called bacteria. In those cases, patients become septic. They might end up in the ICU, in the critical care unit, and the mortality will be very high.
Now, the symptoms include GI issues, headache, muscle ache, or fever, and it can be treated with antibiotics. Now, the CDC is saying, though, that the number of infected people, it actually may be higher than what is being reported. That is because some people do not actually seek medical attention, and they are not actually tested.
Now, people will be extreme. Listen to this real quick. People will be extreme. Like, see, that's why you shouldn't eat meat no more. Meat is poison. But not thinking that these motherfuckers put something in it. You see, they love putting chemicals in our food. For meat to poison you like that, they putting shit in it, y'all. Like that, y'all have to understand. It's like this is like a covert attack. Like we at war and don't even know we at war. Because if they sneak the shit in there and then make it policy to have it in there, you ain't gonna think nothing of it because you think they there to keep you safe. Your tax dollars go to them. and they supposed to be watching to make sure people don't poison us and put poison. But it's like they're actually making sure the poison get in there, and then go after the companies that don't deal with poison. I don't think y'all understand what's going on. They just completely flipped this shit on us. That's why a lot of people are sick, fat, unhealthy, underweight, and everything else in the United States because we are being poisoned. All that diabetes and all that shit, you're being poisoned.
Fat border, I think.
All that shit in the meat, talking about some listeria in the meat. They are adding that shit in the meat.
Nationwide outbreak of listeria has been linked to sliced deli meats. In our area, New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania have reported multiple hospitalizations and are warning consumers to avoid deli meats, especially people who are most vulnerable to severe infection. Dr. Nidhi Kumar is on call to tell us what we need to know, and thank you for being here.
Hi, good morning.
So let's talk exactly about what exactly listeria is.
Listeria is a bacteria. It's found in plants, it's found in soil, and it is incredibly sturdy. So it can withstand.
See, it don't even be the listeria at this point. It be the chemicals, bro.
It be the
It
chemicals,
don't
bro.
listen. It's the shit that they process it with.
Right.
It's the shit that they make it, because all this shit coming from the
shit that they
laboratory.
spraying in there, yup.
Yeah, it's coming from the laboratory, so it's the chemicals to make. Sometimes they use chemicals to color it, maybe color the meat, or to make it last longer. And then it be
when they accidentally do a bad batch, too much of the chemical get in there, and make people sick, and they blame it on bacteria.
They treat the animals with. Like a lot of these corporations use a lot of hormones and shit that they treat the animals with. So it be already in the meat anyway from the animals. So they butcher the animal up and add more shit to it, add more preservatives, more chemicals to the shit, and then they package it up and send it off to the supermarkets for the consumers to purchase.
Well, when people get immediately sick, it's because they accidentally added too much of the chemical in there. But they blame it on a bacteria. They either say it's listeria or E. coli, but they never tell you it's the chemical that accidentally too much of that chemical got added into to those batches, and that's what made people sick. It ain't the listeria or the motherfucking it ain't the listeria or the E. coli. Our gut already have all these bacteria in them, and our body, our immune system is naturally able to deal with these shits. If it gets overwhelmed, then we just get diarrhea, and we throw up, and then you run the risk of being dehydrated, especially if you're an older folk or a child. That's what that is.
So I'm starting to see a pattern.
But when you're starting to see a bunch of people getting sick from and they say outbreak, man, they accidentally either intentionally or accidentally put too much of the chemical in there that they're not even supposed to have in there that they shouldn't have in there in the first place, but they say, oh, it's okay in small dosages. That's what they always say. All them chemicals and shit they put in our food supply, and the meat, the vegetables, all the packaged shit got all chemicals in it. All of it.
So now I'm starting to see a pattern here, because it's just not the food.
This is poisoning, bro. That's the pattern.
I'm starting to see a pattern. Nah, it's just not the food though. I'm starting to see a lot of shit.
Hell yeah, there's a lot of other stuff too.
I'm seeing a lot of outbreaks and shit, right? I'm starting to see they're pushing a lot of outbreaks, a lot of new variant cooking up more vaccines to fight off these different variants that they plan to release. They plan to release that shit because it ain't nothing that is passed on from no type of animal or monkey or none of that shit. That shit is laboratory based and released into the public. So now the CDC, FDA approves updates COVID-19 new COVID vaccines for the fall and winter season.
They love the hustle.
They love this shit,
they
bro.
Love the hustle.
So it says the FDA approved and granted emergency authorization for update of COVID-19 vaccines for the upcoming fall and winter season. The FDA said the vaccines will target the KP2 strain, which is the offshoot of the Omicron variant.
There you go. It is what it is. There you go.
So
They
you
love
got
to hustle.
so you got the monkeypox outbreak. They pushing. They
They
pushing
love
a lot of food recalls, listeria, E. coli, Ebola, whatever the fuck they trying to push out there.
Every day be
Yes.
hustling. Every
Then
day they hustling.
and then
FDA
now
be hustling.
they pushing new variants, KP2, Omicron, COVID-19.
Big
It's
Pharma
like
is hustling.
so this shit is a pattern, bro. It's like literally a pattern. And it's like they
Hell yeah.
they pretty much, yeah, like you said, they hustling, bro.
Yeah, every day they hustling.
But the thing is, what are
They
they
love to
hustling
hustle.
though? They hustling shit that ain't adding up to them because none of that shit work because people still get sick.
Well, they hustling, you know.
So yeah,
You
I
know
mean,
what they hustling. It's the
people still
fear,
get
it's
sick.
the fear factor. And then the fear factor got niggas running to it. Like, oh, we got the solution right here. Look, we got a new and improved a new and improved one. It's better than the last one you took. And it works specifically for this new strain that just came out. Every day we hustling.
And it said, True said, as long as they don't poison the Kool-Aid and the pizza rolls, man, them shits got.
Nigga, that
Man,
shit
you need to
been
read them
poison. What
ingredients.
the hell?
You gotta read them ingredients in the back of that
Nigga,
pizza
the
roll.
pizza, that's the all that
Unless
processed
you're making your
shit.
own, unless you're making your own pizza rolls.
Man, nigga, who making their? How
But
many people making their own
But if you
pizza rolls?
buying
I know
store
niggas
bought,
do, but how many people
still
you know
buying,
doing that
if
shit?
you still buying store bought pizza rolls and all that shit, all you got to do is search the ingredients in the back. It probably got about 50 ingredients in the back of that shit
Pizza
anyway.
rolls. That nigga said pizza rolls, one of the most highly processed shit you can buy out of the box. This nigga
Unless you
said,
make your own.
nigga said pizza rolls. Man, you know that nigga talking about motherfucking Tostinos, whatever the hell they call pizza rolls, and you know that nigga talking about the frozen shits that you get in the box. Because the nigga said Kool-Aid before that.
Dang.
Yeah. You know nigga ain't making no damn. If he making some Kool-Aid, you know damn well he ain't making no motherfucking pizza rolls from scratch, nigga. He ain't making no goddamn pizza rolls from scratch.
As of Friday evening,
With a
3
big
people
ass jug of Kool-Aid.
Listeria outbreak linked to Boar's Head deli meats. According to the CDC, the listeria outbreak has sickened at least 43 people across 13 states. All of them have been hospitalized. Last month, Boar's Head recalled 7 million pounds of deli meats after a liverwurst sample collected in Maryland tested positive for listeria. The recall involved 71 different types of deli meat sold between May 10th and July 29th. For more on this, CBS News Chief Medical Correspondent John LaPook joins me now. Dr. LaPook, thank you so much for being here. So first of all, what groups are most at risk for that? Are some people more at risk than others?
Yeah, I just got off the phone with the CDC. So they really wanted to emphasize it's people who are either older, say over 65, people who are immunocompromised, compromised immune systems, or people who are pregnant. Those are the people who are most at risk. Most of us have immune systems that can handle this. It's in the soil, it's in the water, it's in decaying vegetables, and we may be exposed to it and have sort of some self-limited symptoms, including diarrhea and maybe nausea and vomiting, but we kick it out of our systems ourselves. The problem is in these immunocompromised people, it not only gets into the intestinal tract, but it can get into the bloodstream. Once it's in the bloodstream, it can actually go to the head. It can cause meningitis, encephalitis, and people can get really sick. Of the 33 people, of the 43 people who have been infected, there have been 3 deaths as of Friday.
Well, how did they even discover this? Because a lot of the symptoms you're mentioning could be anything, right?
Right. So it's kind of fascinating. It's like microbe hunters. The book that a lot of us doctors were wanting to be read as a kid. Back at the end of May, somebody got sick, and as all these cases start, it starts with that case report. That first person who eats something gets sick, and now you have the FDA, the CDC, and the USDA, United States Department of Agriculture, all trying to figure out, what did you eat? When did you eat? I don't even remember what I had this morning for breakfast, right? And they have to go back and maybe something they ate a few days ago, and then they traced it. They were real detectives, so they found out that there were positive culture in unopened package of delicatessen meat that had liverwurst. One in Maryland, one in New York, and they said, okay, where did this come from? Boom, they traced it back to a facility in Virginia, and then they did the recall.
So what are the actual symptoms for people? Because they might have some of the symptoms that you just mentioned, but how is it actually diagnosed?
Yeah, well, the way you diagnose, it's very interesting because the tip of the iceberg is what we're seeing right now, right? There are probably a lot more people who do get infected, although it's not one of the most common infections in terms of gastroenteritis, but it does happen, and then we may not know about it. When we know about it is when somebody gets really sick, and when they get really sick, it's when it goes into the bloodstream and it starts affecting other parts of the body. And the way they diagnose that can be through a blood culture. They can do a spinal tap. They can see abnormalities in the spinal fluid. They can even grow out some of the organisms there. And, it's a big deal when everybody is hospitalized with this who gets it, and they can be treated with antibiotics.
So it's just a course of antibiotics that they take them. And it's
course of antibiotics, but, you have to hand it,
Man, oh man, I tell you, this shit is
Bro,
getting scarce
these
by
motherfuckers
every
be over
day.
here hustling. This shit is all scripted, baby. All of it. All that shit scripted. This is just a show, man. This shit is just a show. It's all about you buy into it or not. Are you gonna buy into the show? Cause that's all it is.
But I don't. Yeah, but they really do. They are tampering with the food and shit though.
Hell yeah.
They tampering and shit. They tampering with that shit, bro. They're really tampering with the food, man. And they have been for decades. Tampering with the food.
And the thing is, people got understand that it ain't any particular food. Like people think, oh, because it's meat, it's poisonous. Oh, because it's this, it's poisonous. Oh, nah, it ain't that. It's what they putting in it. And they put the same type of poisons in all the foods, whether it's meat, vegetables, fruits, water. It don't matter what the hell it is. They just been adding the chemicals into all of that shit. So niggas be like, yeah, I don't eat no meat. You know, I'm vegan. I only eat fruits and vegetables, so I'm healthier. Nah, that shit got poison in it too.
Right. Oh shit, my bad, y'all.
You know what I'm saying? Just like the meats, they poison and they putting shit in the meat, they putting shit in the fruits and vegetables too. Cause a lot of people overseas don't have these problems that we have. A lot of people from other countries where they don't allow all these poisons into their food supply, they don't have these type of health problems that we have in the United States. That's why all the other countries look at the United States like, damn, they a bunch of fat asses over there that look like they don't want to do nothing. It's because everybody's being poisoned over here. Because soon as one of them motherfuckers move over here and they be over here for 2 years eating the same type of food they eat back in their own country, but they getting fat over here, eating the same shit.
Yeah, they get sick.
Yeah, they get sick. They come to the United States and they get fat and sick too.
Yeah, they get sick.
Because obviously we're being poisoned at the highest rate over here. People ain't seeing that shit. Countries on the outside, they seeing it because they don't even allow United States food into their food supply. They started banning a lot of our food. And they only let certain food go over there if they alter the ingredients. So if you look up a Coca-Cola in Mexico or Russia, it'd be different than the Coca-Cola that you get in the United States. If you look at the ingredients, the one in the United States got mad chemicals in that shit. Mad chemicals. The Coca-Colas in other countries be having 3 ingredients in that shit.
Right.
It'd be as close to the old original recipe as you can get. But once it gets to the United States and you look at the label over here, every chemical known to man goes into that shit.
Right.
People ain't getting it. People ain't getting it. So it don't be the food itself that's unhealthy. It's the shit that they putting in the food that make it unhealthy.
Facts.
And the altering they doing to the food with this GMO shit, all that bullshit that they be doing that they don't need to do.
The GMOs.
Hell yeah.
GMOs.
That's why niggas got
MSGs.
Got to detox living in America, to be honest with you.
Food dyes.
You got to detox living in America, y'all.
That powdery substance. Boy. Meat glues. What else? All the food colorings that they use, the preservatives and stuff, shit they use.
Meat glue.
To maintain
that meat
shelf
glue
life.
shit is the worst.
To basically extend shelf life. Yep, shelf life.
Even the artificial hormones and shit that they putting in the milk. And that they infecting the cows with, the hormones that they injecting cows with. People say, "Oh, milk is no, it's the shit that they literally poisoning the land, man, and everything on it." I don't know if people understand. I don't know if people understand this. That it's not your genetics, man. It's not. Oh, high blood pressure run through my family. Diabetes run through my. No, that shit. It only runs through your family because your family have been poisoned. That's why it ain't genetics. You know, they can definitely target certain areas where they want even more increased poisons at, so where you don't have no access to anything else but poison. We know what neighborhoods they do that in the United States. Facts. True Freeman. That's exactly how that shit be. That's exactly how the labels be. You ever see them cakes at the grocery store and shit? You ever see all them ingredients that be in those cakes? Them labels be big as shit to hold on. It'd be like 80 ingredients in them goddamn cakes at them grocery store cakes and shit. Like, damn, 80 ingredients, and they gotta write the letters extremely small.
Huckleberry oil, natural flavors,
Yeah. Right.
Gum,
Be all types of
red
shit in
40,
it, right?
yellow
Right.
5, red 40, blue 6. Nigga said cow dookie and water gum. I know.
Right.
Nigga said Huckleberry oil. All right, that's how that shit be though. It be like 50 million
And that's the
ingredients.
shit that be killing niggas.
One
That's the
little
shit that's
cake.
giving you
One little cake and shit. One little cake be having all riboflavin.
riboflavin. Yup.
Hell yeah.
And
Y'all
that's
can
something
sign
that
up.
occurs naturally,
Go ahead.
but they use a
Go ahead,
synthetic version of that.
Go ahead, y'all. Drop some of them names. Y'all be seeing them back in them labels in the goddamn chat. And then the
High
replay,
fructose corn syrup.
replay on the live stream too. Y'all hear this?
High fructose
Y'all
corn syrup.
drop some shit in the
Monosodium
chat
glutamate.
in the link. I mean, drop some shit in the comment section.
Carrageenan. Riboflavin.
The shit y'all be seeing, man. I know that nigga said Huckleberry oil, right? What's some other shit y'all be seeing in the back of them?
All types of shit on it. All that shit is chemicals.
Triglycerides and all this bullshit.
People be looking at the like in a to see if the food is healthy based off how much fat is in it, how many calories is in it, and how much protein and shit. But you never told to look at all them goddamn chemicals, and not even thinking that those chemicals are lethal to the human body. Like niggas ain't even thinking, not realizing that you're being poisoned in small dosage. That's why you're having health problems. Even though it's not killing you instantly, even though it kills some people instantly, they just don't blame it on all the bullshit that they've been poisoning us with. But that's the reason why. But if they giving you a little bit of that poison over time, of course you're gonna have aches and pains, headaches, anxiety, trouble sleeping, inflammation, diabetes. Of course you're gonna have all this high blood pressure. If you're constantly being exposed to these goddamn chemicals every day. They say they only put a small amount of chemicals, but everything got chemicals in it, and you got it, and you eat that shit every day. You eating it every day.
But then listen though, bro, it's a mixture because
sometimes 3 or 4, 5 times a day.
Not just the shit you eating though. It's the shit you putting on your body, your skin. Like it's all like a whole mixture of shit. It's like a whole concoction and shit that you using. So it's not just the food, it's the shit that it's the products, the hair for the hair, and it's the products for the skin. You know what I mean? Down to the water we drinking, down to the shit the air that we breathe. It's like a whole mixture of shit, bro. It's like nonstop. Yo, the human body strong as fuck, man. To endure all this shit.
Yeah, but it has its limit, though.
Nah, it has its limit. You have to
it has its limit.
That shit out. You're gonna have to drink a lot of water to flush your motherfucking system out. But yeah, like the human body is strong as shit to be able to endure all this all these different chemicals from every different places.
600 pound my 600 pound life and shit. Of course the body can take you see how much weight them niggas be carrying. See how big they legs be and shit like that. On my 600 pound life, yeah, the human body do take a lot of beating. That's true, but that shit eventually it gives out though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
eventually it gives out.
That's why we, you know what I mean? That's why we look for the best products to sell as far as like detox and shit. Like the brother that we work with, brother Atico, he makes his detox drinks with all natural organic ingredients at that. You know what I mean? Like organic ingredients. Like he don't even F around when it comes to that. Like
Right.
Black seed oil, you know what I'm saying? Ashwagandha, shit
Right,
like that.
right.
Matter of fact, let me pull that up because he actually
Yeah,
got
because
the
we
ingredients that he
definitely,
used. He actually got the
yeah, we
ingredients that he
definitely got to
used on
start
there. Hold
rethinking the
on.
type shit that we putting in our bodies and on our bodies because this shit is getting crazy out here.
All right, so here go the ingredients right here that the brother used in his drink, in his organic melon splash drink. So he used natural spring water, agave nectar, organic turmeric, organic beetroot powder, organic moringa powder, vitamin B12, vitamin D3, organic flaxseed oil, elderberry syrup, organic black seed oil, organic black maca root, the senna leaf powder. I guess that's psyllium husk powder, funnel seed powder, papaya leaf powder, rose hips fruit powder. I guess that's lactobacillus, aphilicus, or whatever the hell that shit is. Colon cleanse, ginger, organic peach juice, and organic peach extract. You know what I mean? So he makes sure he's get the best ingredients to mix in his detox and his detox drink. We used to sell this before. A lot of people was like, damn, when y'all gonna get the drink back on there? Because it actually helped flush people out. People was getting, you know what I mean, flushing people out like crazy. You know what I'm saying? So if that shit don't have natural ingredients like this, then what the fuck is the purpose of that shit even being on the shelf at this point? Why they not taking all that shit off the shelf? All that shit that's causing harm, it's not being taken off the shelf. They saying they lowering the limits of it, but they're not taking it completely off the damn shelf. So that's the FDA, the USDA, and the CDC all working together to keep that shit on the shelf. And not counting the hair care products, the skin care products that we use on a daily basis. Well, that the general population use on a daily basis. So I believe if people start waking up more to this shit, that's why it's important for us to educate people on these live streams when we do this, because the more people that become aware of it, it can actually do damage to them, to the corporations, where they got to move accordingly to the people, how the people shop, how the people consume. So if people start consuming more natural products, then the corporations will have to force themselves to actually start selling more natural products.
That's true.
They will have to, because they only going to go by what the consumers are purchasing. Because the consumers got the power. And I know people like to look at the pyramid and think that the power structure is at the top, but the power structure is at the bottom, my nigga. You turn the pyramid upside down. The power structure is at the bottom. I don't give a fuck who at the top. Wherever y'all want to say, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, all these different weird ass.
Oh, the same
The
names,
same,
niggas.
yeah, the priests over there and Vatican and all this weird shit. If y'all think they the ones with the power, y'all sadly mistaken. The power is at the bottom of the pyramid that's holding that shit up, actually.
That's true. That's true.
The foundation is at the bottom, not at the top.
But
you have to build
they not
from the
aware.
bottom up. You have to build from the bottom up, not the top down.
But the bottom is not aware though. The bottom of the pyramid represent all the people who sleep. Who still sleep.
Yeah, like I said, the more people that wake up to this information are the more people that can actually, because it really starts in your own household anyway. And what you teach.
Well, that would collapse the pyramid if everybody at the bottom woke up. It would collapse the whole system.
It will, and that system
it would implode.
It would have to rebuild itself back off, which I think is going to happen anyway, because I think it's like a continued cycle. I think it's like a 360-degree angle that we're moving in. So I believe that when the majority of the people wake up, that's going to shatter this paradigm, this system, and it's going to have to be rebuilt on a new system that's truthful and honest. And then it'll get corrupted again, and then we have to destroy it and rebuild again. Then because for some reason it's always built on honesty and truth at the beginning, and then somehow it gets corrupted. Then the corruption continues. Then we have to tear the system down again and rebuild back on that. Then tear it down and rebuild, tear it down and rebuild. It's like a never-ending cycle.
Like everything else on Earth.
Yeah, it's like a never-ending cycle.
It's a never-ending cycle. It's a never-ending cycle, like everything else on Earth. Because even when you put on clothes and take off clothes, it's the same shit. Because when you put on the clothes, it's all fresh and clean, no stains. And by the middle of the day, if you, depending on what you were doing, the shit is all dirty. And you got to, you know what I'm saying? So you got to change. The shit is corrupted.
Man.
You got to change clothes again. And then put on something else fresh. It's the same shit, man. It's these concepts are transferable, bro. It's the same shit over and over again.
Debbie responsible for a lot of diabetes out here, bro. True Freeman. True Freeman said Lil Debbie. Yeah, Lil Debbie.
Hell yeah. Not just Lil Debbie. It's a lot of shit.
But Lil Debbie definitely responsible for a lot of diabetes out here.
Big Deborahs. Lil Debbie is responsible for a lot of big Deborahs. Lil Debbie's made a lot of big Deborahs out there. Just let.
Would you say what Goddess Flower is to every 500 years?
Big ass Deborah.
Every 500 years, what build and destroy?
Every 500 years? Shit, I think it's 120 years.
It might be 120. Yeah, I mean, it might have lessened. The years might have lessened. Now that we
still thinking linear, but yeah,
but now with the information age, with the internet, it kind of speed everything up.
Yeah,
it kind of woke people up at a rapid speed that the the establishment didn't factor in to that, because it's always a double-edged sword. So the establishment didn't factor in that even though you're using the internet to consolidate everybody and push them all on the internet where they can be tracked, traced, and chipped and watched, they didn't factor in a component where people can actually use the information to wake their asses up too. So it's always a two-edged. The truth is always a double-edged sword when it comes to this shit. They ain't factoring that. I remember Hillary Clinton saying we losing to the information age. She actually said that shit on TV one time.
It's an information war.
Yeah, it's an information war, and they're losing because they didn't factor in that at the same time they was consolidating everything and pushing everybody to the internet. They didn't realize that the information age was going to actually wake people up at a fast, rapid rate to the point where a lot of the plans that they had, they couldn't even follow through on them shits because
that's true.
People was waking up, so it was kind of fucking up their plans that they had 20 years. Like they set when they do these plans, they 20 years ahead because they like to use the younger generation to based off the agenda off the younger generation so they can grow up into it. But they didn't factor in that this new generation is a different type of breed. These motherfuckers is fat. They wake up fast. You know what I'm saying? And they catch on fast. So they ain't anticipating.
Well, what's really happening is people from our generation is waking up.
Yeah.
You gotta think about people from our a lot of people from our generation is waking. You gotta think about it. I'm just saying, like a lot of niggas started waking up because you gotta remember, even like in our community, even at one point, the hip hop was even conscious at one point. People was waking up.
That's another. You know
what I mean? You had niggas like Public Enemy, Rakim, and niggas like that.
Yeah, you had
they was rapping was different. X-Clan, right.
Tribe, different type of groups, man.
Right, yeah. So niggas started waking up around that time. Then you had all the people, the conscious individuals, you know what I mean, like C. Freemanell and Hemet and all them type niggas.
Yeah,
so niggas started waking. Niggas started waking up. Niggas started waking up, but the thing is, in this generation, I think that COVID shit accelerated everything. They left a lot of people home to think for themselves, and they started waking up, and then all that mixed information that
that's the double-edged sword
corporations and shit was put out there. That shit accelerated it.
Bingo. That's
that
the
COVID lockdown. That shit accelerated it like a motherfucker.
Yeah, that's the flip side right there. They wanted to lock down everything, right? They wanted to lock everybody in. you know, but they didn't anticipate the factor that they didn't factor in that was going to also give people time to think. So at the same time of them locking the whole damn world down, they didn't really anticipate people, you know, gathering the information and actually retaining the information. So that kind of like dug into their plans a little bit too. I mean, kind of delayed their plans a little bit more too, because people had time to think, bro. I mean, you had people doing extensive research on a lot of shit during COVID because they had a lot of time on their hands. Especially with us when we was out here putting we was putting the information out here heavy as shit during the COVID time too.
Bingo.
So a lot of our subs during that time, they was doing a lot of fucking reading. They was doing a lot of looking up shit based off the information we was putting out there. And they was coming back with shit that we didn't even know.
Bingo.
You know what I mean? Like they was finding shit and sending it up to us. Like, hey, I ain't even know about this shit. Let me go ahead and look this up.
I think I heard something about that, but I think I heard something.
Yeah, then we'd do a live about that. Yeah, then we'd do a live stream on the shit based off of what they found.
This shit is like, but for real, this shit is like a ongoing cycle of the same shit over and over again. You just gotta observe it. It's almost like when he was in the Truman Show, when he was sitting in the car and he was showing his wife, you know, she was in on it too, showing how the car was going to go by, then the motherfucker on the bike was going to go by. He kept doing the same patterns over and over again. That's all that's going on here, man. That's what everything.
All right.
The same shit over and over, y'all. They run the same plays. Like we said, every time an election come and they want the black votes, they always have a George Floyd or a Trayvon Martin or a Sonia Massey type of situation happen. They always bring that to the forefront. And that stuff happens all the time, but they only care about it when they want the black vote. Then the whole media is focused on it's on CNN, motherfuckers be on Time Magazine, all that shit when they want the black vote. But as soon as they get the black vote and you know what I mean, they get their man in office, you don't hear about that shit until the next time they look for another Democrat to be elected.
Die down. That shit
it's the same shit. Bro, it's the same shit, bro. They do the same thing every year. I mean, every election year, they do the same damn tactics. Eric Garner, Trayvon Martin. Did they say my name? They don't start doing all that shit until it's time to get the black vote. And the Republicans do that shit too, because Trump, Young Thug, mentioning Young Thug and all that, trying to get the black vote. Kodak, getting Kodak out, getting the black vote. All of it. They all do this. They all do the same shit. Everybody. They all do it. Both sides do it. None of them don't give a shit about you. They don't. It's the same pattern over and over again every year. None of you realize in those debates, none of those politicians are talking about all the damn poison and all the price gouging that these corporations are doing. Well, Trump do talk about the price gouging, though. Trump do talk about that shit. He have his little model of groceries there, like, you know what I mean, saying under me, these groceries would be a lot cheaper. As you see, these are Biden's and Kamala's groceries over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, so he's showing you the models of whose groceries are going to be more expensive and whose groceries are going to be cheaper. So, all right, so we understand that part, but what about all the poison that's in them goddamn groceries now? All these health problems that Americans are going through because they just allowing anything in the damn food. What about all these farms that's getting attacked for nothing? They shutting down all these farms and shit and letting these corporations poison us so you don't even have access directly to the farmer because they being SWAT team for selling raw milk or selling, you know what I mean, for some dumb shit. While they letting the corporations put 60 damn chemical ingredients in your goddamn grocery store cake, birthday cake, or whatever snack cake or whatever the fuck it is, all that shit that they be having right when you walk into the grocery store, it's all in the front. You walk in, cakes, shit, everything, all the shit right there, juice, cakes.
Hold on
and then
real
you
quick.
go to the cake and you read that shit, and you see this big ass label on there. You see all these little letters. It'd be like 70 ingredients in one damn cake. 70 ingredients. You can't read. You can't pronounce none of the motherfucking words on there. All long scientific words.
All right, so they just put something out about the FDA. We're gonna get into this real quick, bro. It says one medical device is raising questions about the FDA's approval process. Because the FDA is approving just any old fucking thing at this point.
Food and Drug Administration to make sure that medical devices are safe. Now, reporting by KFF Health News raises questions about how the agency has dealt with some product, including one that treats a heart condition. Ali Rogan has more.
The device is called MitraClip, and its goal is to fix
they trying to come up with a new device.
leaky heart valves, often in patients too sick for surgery. It's implanted by snaking a small clip into the heart through a major vein. Now, a new investigation by KFF Health News looks into questions surrounding the device's development, promotion, and use since it was approved by the FDA back in 2013. David Hilsenrath is the senior Washington correspondent for KFF and was the lead author of this story. David, thank you so much for being here. What type of patient was this device developed for, and why was it such a game changer?
MitraClip is used to treat patients with a condition called mitral regurgitation, or MR, in which blood flows backward through the heart's mitral valve. MR can lead to heart failure and death. I've seen estimates, Ali, that millions of people in the United States experience MR, including 10% of people over 75. The MitraClip system includes a tiny clip that is implanted in the mitral valve to fasten the two flaps of the mitral valve together and enable them to achieve a tighter seal.
And what was then the reality of what you found about how what this product says it does matches up with the reality?
For many patients, it may be a game changer. We found that the story of MitraClip is, in many ways, a cautionary tale, however, about the science, the business, and the regulation of medical devices. We found that since the FDA approved MitraClip in 2013, MitraClip has been named in thousands of reports to the FDA about malfunctions or cases in which it might have caused or contributed to a patient's injury or death. We found 17,000 reports, of which more than 1,100 involved deaths. There has long been debate about research surrounding MitraClip. Before the FDA approved the device in 2013, it issued a paper criticizing data marshaled in support of MitraClip. And one outside advisor to the agency compared that data to poop, more specifically horse poop and dog poop.
Now, in terms of the deaths that you mentioned, certainly the people associated with MitraClip would point out that this was not a physically well population to begin with, so some deaths are to be expected. But is the issue here that the claims are that these devices actually cause the deaths?
The reports that I described do not prove causality. It's one of the flaws in the FDA's post-market surveillance system that these reports are not definitive. The FDA relies largely on reports submitted by the manufacturers themselves, such as, in this case, Abbott.
And as you mentioned, Abbott denies wrongdoing. They say in part that, quote, it is a safe and effective treatment option with a strong foundation of clinical evidence for more than 20 clinical trials. I do want to ask you, though, about the clinical trial aspect of this. It does seem like a catch-22 that the very companies that are charged with proving to the FDA that their products are safe and effective largely bankroll a lot of these clinical trials because they're extremely expensive and they're the only ones that can do so. Is that an inherent conflict of interest in just how the system is run in the United States?
It's built into the system. What you describe, Ali, is absolutely true. The FDA relies primarily on clinical trials conducted by the very companies that manufacture these products. Much of the research that Abbott alluded to in that statement was funded by Abbott. Many of the doctors involved themselves had financial relationships with Abbott. And the research is not always clear-cut. It can be debated.
This investigation also, though, reveals the amount of uncertainty that is allowed for in the FDA approval process. Is that also something that is pretty standard when FDA approval is sought?
Well, at times, and we've seen this with other products, the FDA has approved medical products over the objections of its own staff professionals. In the case of MitraClip, the FDA initially argued that the clinical research and other data the manufacturer had produced to argue for approval was fundamentally flawed. To cite just one example, the allegation was that the MitraClip patients in that testing were treated by surgeons who were highly experienced, while those in the control group were treated by doctors who performed surgery much less frequently. In that testing, MitraClip was compared to surgery. And the FDA convened this committee of outside advisors. The committee was quite split on what to recommend to the FDA. The committee voted against the proposition that the device was proven effective. However, it voted that the benefits outweighed the risks.
For all them damn deaths and they still trying to approve the motherfucking device, bro. Like, why y'all FDA just don't give a fuck about a people, period, bro? They don't. Like, they don't give
what they said. They let the corporations that try to get their stuff approved, they let the corporations do all the scientific research. Of course, they gonna make it look safe, no matter how poisonous that shit is. They gonna make it look safe because it's their own product. Of course, they gonna make it look safe in the scientific studies. Those and the FDA don't care because their pockets is being greased, obviously. And there's been FDA whistleblowers, people who quit because of that type of shit. And they whistleblowed and they tell you how the shit is ran over there. It's all corrupt. They let any type of poison in your food for the right price. They let any type of poison in your medicines, any type of poison in your air and your water. They can be bought, man. And they have been bought. These corporations come in with tons of money. You know what I'm saying? And they say, well, we got the scientific research. You ain't even got to do nothing. We show you that it's safe with our scientific research. The FDA they don't even look at that shit. They see all that money sitting there. They want to get to the party. So they just sign that shit and pick up the briefcase or the suitcase filled with money or the duffel bag, however the fuck they do it. And they leave and they get their party on and they celebrate with every new drug or every new poison that enter into our food supply, water supply, air supply, product, hair care, skin care supply, all the poisons that's in there, the motherfuckers like, oh well, but we definitely got our piece of the pie though. And they go party, you know what I'm saying, while we all being poisoned. That's what it is. That's what it is. It ain't shit else. Greedy as hell out here. Greedy and wicked at the same time.
Your dental health. You hear that from your dentist all the time, right? But a concerning investigation from consumer advocates says that some people, some popular brands, in fact, of floss may actually contain harmful chemicals.
That's concerning. So yesterday, Mel, you shared some safer toothpaste alternatives and the best toothbrushes for our kids. Now you've got new information about safer floss options.
I mean, who would think about this? You know, you think you're doing something good, going that extra step by flossing, and then ingredients that have been linked to health concerns because the floss you choose matters. Even if we don't follow it, we all know the advice from dentists.
Flossing is the game changer. Flossing makes a huge amount of difference in the mouth.
That advice isn't changing, but the findings from a new Consumer Reports analysis of what's in your dental floss might have you thinking twice about the type of dental floss you're using.
Some dental flosses use PFAS chemicals for a smoother glide. However, these forever chemicals are linked to various health problems and environmental concerns. Some flosses also contain undisclosed flavors and are made of plastic.
Consumer Reports and Made Safe recently analyzed ingredients in a variety of flosses. 10 flosses either failed to disclose their ingredients, contained PFAS, or included other components linked to health concerns, posing higher risks to customers. 3 flosses stood out as favorites because they contain safer and more sustainable ingredients. While companies aren't required to disclose all ingredients in dental floss, Tom's of Maine, Dental Lace, Cocoa Floss, and Nudge provided Consumer Reports with complete ingredient list and confirmed they don't intentionally add PFAS to their products. Procter & Gamble, makers of Oral-B Glide, confirmed that their floss contains PTFE, citing its performance benefits. However, they maintain it's safe and free of certain phased-out PFAS. The Humble Co. provided partial information confirming PFAS-free status, but giving incomplete flavor details. The other companies did not respond to our inquiries and did not provide answers to Consumer Reports questions. And for people who hate flossing with string, how about a water flosser?
Water flossers like Waterpik work well for removing food debris. And although they may not be quite as effective as string floss at scraping away bacteria, they're a great option for people who dislike string floss or who find it difficult to use.
Remember, and it's like a spa experience when all that water gets in your face. All right, so Consumer Reports does recommend choosing flosses that are coated with natural substances. Look for beeswax or plant-based waxes. Also look for floss made from biodegradable materials like silk or cotton, or either unflavored or flavored, only using natural ingredients that are listed on the packaging. So I know this is a lot of work, but if you are concerned, this is a way to kind of look into what your floss has inside.
No, these companies need to be held accountable for putting any type of poison in anything because you're poisoning us. You go to jail for that. What the fuck? Like, we're so desensitized that we can sit up here and watch the news and watch that they're literally poisoning us. And we sitting here accepting it like it's normal. Well, you know, that's what the government do. You know how insane that shit is? But let you poison someone. Your ass is going to jail right away. And you should. Let somebody poison somebody on the street with the same shit they putting in our food and everything, and in our water and in our dental care products and shit. Let somebody do some shit like that to somebody on the street. You know they going to jail. Because the corporations got big money, they got connections, and people walk around dumb as ever. They able to get away with this shit and then talk about it on the news casually and tell you, oh yeah, ways to avoid it. You know, just make sure you buy stuff that got natural this and that. But hold on, I thought these fucking companies, I mean these government agencies that we give our tax dollars to, I thought they supposed to be on top of these motherfuckers, saying that you can't put that shit in this, you can't put that in there, you can't. That's poison. Aren't these motherfuckers a chemist that work there? Don't they know that this shit is harmful to the human body? So they don't look at the chemical and see right from the door that that's not some shit that humans are supposed to be consuming. Like, what test studies do these niggas need? Like, if you already a chemist, you gotta understand the people that work for these agencies are chemists. They go to school to learn chemistry, and they know about all these chemicals. So when they read the ingredients and shit, and they know what these chemicals do to the human body, why the fuck are they allowed to have it in the food at all? Because that's basically intentionally poisoning someone. That's murder.
Like I said,
that's mass genocide right there. So people should be going to jail.
The chemical companies work
these
hand in
poisons
hand
in
with
there.
the food.
Jail.
With the food
poison.
corporation. So when you got the chemical companies contracted with the food corporations, they are contracted to put this shit in the food, bro. Because the food companies don't seek out to put the shit in the food. It's the chemical companies that's doing business with the food companies and contracting them to put the shit in the food.
The food companies are owned by the chemical companies, the same
so
shareholder.
So what they doing is they're pretty much double dipping. Pretty much. They like you said, same shareholders that share, you know, the top shareholders of the chemical companies is the same shareholders of the food companies as well. So
the same damn companies, right?
So they're just pretty much just basically making money off the chemical portion and the food portion of the you know, all the ingredients and shit that goes into to make up that product. So all those 50 ingredients are different companies. Those not all the same companies that these food companies ingredients are made of. Though all those different chemicals that might be from different chemical companies.
Right.
You know what I mean? So everybody's getting a piece, basically.
But you know, all them companies are consolidated though. It's like only really
now,
like 4 or 5 different companies that own all the rest.
Yeah, now they are, but they didn't start off that way. It was a bunch of different chemical companies that was contracted with these food corporations before they start consolidating a lot of shit because, you know, partners.
It's called a takeover. It's called fascism. It's called fascism. That's what it's called. That's when the corporation become the government, the government become the corporation. But now they added another element to it. The technocrats, the social media giants is attached to it now. So yeah, all of it is one big operation.
Which they pretty much tied all this. They tied it up. They pretty much tied up everything
to keep you dumbed down, poisoned, and sick.
Because now the technocrats is what's pushing, is what able to control the information. You know what I mean? They able to control them. So let's get into the snack ban. So I see a lot of states see that, and that's what it's going to have to take. It's going to have to take each individual state to start putting the pressure on these motherfuckers to start removing a lot of this shit off the shelf. Because they're not going to do it all at once where the whole country is doing it. It's going to have to be individual states that actually put pressure on their you know, on their politicians and all that to start removing some of this shit off the shelf, man. So let's get into this one real quick. This is
they could make this shit with cleaner ingredients because if you check the ingredients list of these same foods when they first hit the shelves like years and years ago, they wasn't using as much poison as they use now. They was not using as much poison as they use now. The type of poison that a candy bar having it in 2024 is even more different than the amount of poison that it had in the 90s. Completely different candy bar.
It's completely different.
Completely
right.
different candy bar. The shit that's in 2024.
Well, more drugs.
The candy bar that you eat in the 2024 is fucking highly deadly. That shit is highly deadly. Right.
They like coming.
Highly deadly. Count Chocula.
Right.
That shit is way more. Even the cereals, all that shit is way more deadly now. They came up with all new types of chemicals since then.
The rap snack. Yeah, they use all that shit to target the nigga community. Right.
Hell yeah.
Rap snacks and Randall Cunningham candy bars and remember all that shit they used to. The big homeboy chips and homegirl chips. Remember all that shit? They used to peddle it in our community, bro. Bro, we used to trust me because we used to buy for that shit every day anyway.
Yes,
Them snacks every day. We used to go right to the poppy store at the corner. You know what I mean, or the Korean niggas at the corner.
And they were poison then, but that shit is more unbelievably poison. That shit tastes completely different now.
Totally traceable.
That shit is definitely different. It ain't even the same food, y'all. That's why the food tastes so different. The niggas growing up, niggas that grew up in the niggas that grew up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, up into the 90s. Y'all know the food started tasting weird in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
That shit started. A lot of food started tasting very synthetic.
I know, right?
Very synthetic.
Candy bar got a nerve to be almost $3 for that poison. Man, that's
$3 for all that fucking poison.
Snack ban, man. Los Angeles snack ban, man. A lot of this shit got to go off the show. All this Gatorade shit, all these Cheetos and Pop-Tart, all that shit got to go, man. That shit is crazy.
Favorite snacks could be at risk of being banned because of their ingredients. At least 5 states are proposing these laws that prohibit the use of certain ingredients and color additives, which help preserve the food that we eat, but have also been linked to health issues, including cancer. Stephanie Haynes through this live to explain. Stephanie, I see Flamin' Hot Cheetos here. My dad's going to be devastated. What snacks are we specifically talking about here?
Yeah, look, these bills have quite a long way to go, but it is the stuff that you really reach for when you have the munchies, including, those spicy chips and crackers, chewy candies, and then even some of your favorite baking supplies like frostings and even sprinkles have some of this stuff that states basically want these food companies to replace the components of with something else. So that could change the recipe. That's at the very least what they want them to do. And so let's take a look at least these 5 states, New York, Illinois.
All right, so New York, Illinois, California, what's that, Washington?
California, Missouri, Washington are all trying to introduce or try to pass laws on some of these ingredients, which are a mouthful. It sounds like your high school chemistry class. So we're going to give you a breakdown of some of the highlights here. One of the ingredients is brominated vegetable oil.
All right, so look at this shit. You see a lot of this shit in the back. Titanium, doxide, titanium. What the fuck?
Butylated hydroxylazole. Isodecarbamide, isodecarbamide, propylparaffin, potassium bromate. None of that shit you can barely.
Look, red dye 3.
You can barely even pronounce.
Brominated vegetable oils.
That's the shit that's killing your ass. That's what's giving you diabetes. That's the shit that's giving you people them big ass legs when you see them driving around in those Walmart carts and they got big ass legs with black spots on them. It's all this shit that's doing it to them. All these fucking chemicals. That's what it ain't just genetics. Oh, diabetes run through my family. Nah, nigga. Chemicals run through your family. It ain't fucking diabetes that's running through your family, nigga. It's chemicals that's been running from your family through all this fucking shit y'all been eating. All this shit that you can't pronounce is poison.
What's that? Axodic carbonide. What the hell? Yo, bro, what's all this shit, man? Let's continue.
Now, that is one that the FDA has already proposed banning, and that is in the bill that California has already passed. That'll go into effect in 2027. BVO, as it's called, used to.
Why they gotta wait till 2027, man? Get that shit off the shelf now.
It's poison. Get that shit off and the rest of motherfuckers that put it on the shelf.
The thing is, California is more of a health state, bro. So they don't fuck around when it comes to this shit.
This
so
is blowing my mind. I'm not desensitized yet.
They taking necessary precautions to get that shit off the shelf. Like
I ain't desensitized to this shit yet. It's blowing my mind,
bro. Because it's the people. I think because I believe they
wait till November 20th.
Bro, I believe they starting to remove this shit because people was telling them this shit got to go. We not fucking with it no more. There's people actually putting pressure on their officials in a state to get this shit off the shelf, and that's what it's going to take. It's going to take people to in individual.
They already did it in Europe, bro.
Yeah, it's going to have
They
to
already
take.
did it in Russia, bro. They already did that.
Oh
shit.
yeah, Russia don't fucking
Big
around.
countries.
Japan got all them breakfast cereals. Japan got that shit out of there.
Right.
They said we don't want this shit in our country.
We don't want none of that shit.
American bullshit in our country.
They food quality is just better in Japan. Everything, even they food at a goddamn gas station is better than a 4-course meal restaurant from the United States. You'd be better off eating at a gas station in Japan. That food is healthier than the shit that you get in the United States. That's the crazy part.
Since been removed from most of them. And then Red Dye 3 gives food and drinks that bright red cherry color. That's also being actively reviewed by the FDA. Several of these.
Wait, man, that shit don't need to be unreviewed by the FDA. The red dye shit is the poison. It's got the link to cancer. It's already been studied. Bro, it's already been studied on all the red dye and shit they use in the food ingredient. My nigga, why it have to be under review? FDA, y'all approved the shit. So why the fuck is it back under review when y'all approved it from the beginning? Why does it have to be back under review? This the trickery that they be fucking with us with, y'all.
But they a SWAT team a farm. They a SWAT team a family farm though. They SWAT team Amish farms. They SWAT team family farms where they sell clean meat, clean fruits, clean local vegetables, and they're self-sustainable. They go and attack them with SWAT teams, but they let these corporations put literal deadly poisons in the food. Deadly poison, and they ain't doing shit about it.
Bro, this shit said Red Dye 3
attack.
Under review by the FDA, bro. How the fuck is something under review by the FDA when they approved it from the beginning? How is back? Let's continue, y'all. This shit blowing my mind.
Are already banned in Europe, and so we spoke to a nutritionist about this. Listen.
So if Europe can do it, we certainly can too. But it does take more money, and it takes really this dedication to saying we're not going to allow for this low quality stuff to keep entering into our systems.
So critics like the Consumer Brands Association say this is really stuff that's going to supersede the FDA. It's just going to confuse consumers and reduce their confidence in the brands. And also that these food companies really go through a strict process to try to get healthy, safe food on the shelf for you, the consumer. We reached out to a bunch of parent companies of brands and are waiting to hear back, Marky.
Yeah, I'm looking at this list here. Gatorade, M&M, Swedish Fish. As long as they don't touch my Junior Mints, I will somehow survive. Stephanie Haynes.
Bitch, Junior Mints, bitch. If you look at the ingredients of Junior Mints, bitch, it's a lot of ingredients in the back of that fucking Junior Mints box. She talking about as long as they don't touch my Junior Mints. Bitch, that shit, look at the back of that motherfucking ingredients. She talking about Junior Mints. The fuck? You see how I hate the news? When they report on this shit, this shit is real shit, right? And they gonna be on there playing
They
and shit
taking
talking
it
about
too lightly and shit.
Yeah. Bitch.
Don't touch my Junior Mints. While they over there SWAT teaming a family farm that's selling fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, fresh meat, fresh milk, dairy products. You SWAT team them, but you let these corporations put deadly fucking poisons in the food. Not just poison. They not just putting poison in the food, y'all. They putting deadly poison in the fucking food. And y'all probably like, well, isn't all poison deadly?
Let me look up this bitch.
Nah, the shit that they putting in there is highly deadly.
Let me look up the ingredients of Junior Mints. Since she want to say you on there clowning and shit.
This nigga stuck on the Junior Mints.
Since
F those Junior Mints.
Hold on real quick, bro.
They poison all of the damn candy. All that shit you get for Halloween. All that shit you get for Easter. All that shit you eating is highly toxic to your body, man.
All right, Junior Mints contain the following ingredients: sugar, which you know is which is refined, bleached white sugar. You know they're gonna use that shit because they're not gonna use nothing like well, y'all know. Semi-sweet chocolate, which includes sugar chocolate processed with alkali, cocoa butter, soy lecithin,
there it is,
and vanilla. Look, so corn syrup, confectioner's glazed, modified food starch, peppermint oil, invertase and enzymes.
There you go.
Whatever.
Inverde.
Artificial colors, including FD&C red 40, yellow 5, and blue 1. Bitch, the fucking Junior Mints is poison. She up there laughing and giggling and shit. Long as they don't touch my Junior Mints. Get the hell out of here. Bro, red 40, yellow 5, and blue 1 is enough. That's the food coloring, bro. That shit. Why is that shit in Junior Mints? Why is it blue 40, blue, red, yellow, and blue in goddamn Junior Mints? Man, look, man, this shit crazy, bro. This shit crazy out here, my nigga.
Because all that shit comes from
that soy lecithin.
One or two or three sources, bro. You gotta think about it. When you start these businesses like that, everybody get their shit like from the same companies in bulk, so you can, because it's cheaper. And all the shit you get in bulk, majority of that shit is all these chemicals already come in it, mixed in it. You know what I mean? The shit that you, like the motherfuckers that open up these chain restaurants and they independently own, but they still got to buy the shit from the company's warehouse. Like if you open up your own independent McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? You still got to get the shit from the McDonald's warehouse. Right. And all that shit come with the chemicals already in it. Already in it. So you can't even, there ain't even no way to bypass that shit. The only way to bypass that shit is to put pressure on these companies and not buy it. You know what I'm saying? And go support your local farm and start making shit from scratch when you can.
All right, so let me see what this is. So
a popular brand that butter is this
is actually the Kerry Gold shit. I actually wanted to play this video too, because it's that shit popping up again, that PFSA, whatever the fuck that shit is. Yo, we used to use this butter too, bro. This shit crazy, bro. Remember, we used to buy this fucking butter all the time.
Disappearing off the shelf.
Sometimes you gotta be careful because some of this shit be propaganda too.
Oh yeah.
With some of these brands, because some of these brands their shit could be cleaner, and they don't want them to be clean. They want poison in the food. You understand? These companies want to poison us. So it ain't even just about profit anymore. It's about the motherfuckers keeping us weak, stupid, dumb, divided, sick all the time, weak-minded, and always docile. Yep. Yeah. So that's what it's really about.
Passive.
So if there is a company out there that's health conscious and they trying to do some shit for real, they say, oh, they're the ones that's contaminated. So you gotta realize this is a psychological war that's going on, as well as chemical biological warfare at the same time.
Please smash that like. Yo, if y'all ain't hit that like button yet, please smash that like button. Actually, we almost at 100. One more, John, we be at 100 on this, John. We'll be at 100 on this video. So let's continue with this shit though, bro. This shit crazy, bro. I don't know what the fuck they be doing to us with this food and shit.
because of something called forever chemicals. Plus,
our tests found concerning levels of cadmium or lead, two toxic heavy metals, in most of the dark chocolate bars we tested.
Consumer Reports found heavy metals in a lot of dark chocolate brands. Find out how much you have to eat to
heavy metals in a goddamn chocolate bar, man. Chocolate chip.
Really be at risk for health problems.
Chocolate chip.
and these two bottles of ketchup from the US and the UK seem almost identical. But wait until you see the difference in their ingredients. Today, we're chewing on what's really in your food. Let's dig into it. When we go to the grocery store, we're used to checking all kinds of labels, from that expiration date to the calorie count also.
Yeah, now some doctors want you to look for another label, one that says no.
Yeah, basically chocolate covered heavy metals. That's basically what this shit is. Chocolate covered heavy metals. Let's continue.
PFAS. Dina Demetrius digs into why it could be important to your health.
It's as natural as the day my great-grandfather made the butter.
Irish Kerrygold butter is prized by many consumers for its grass-fed goodness. But what consumers may not have realized, that grease-resistant wrapper contains per- or polyfluoroalkyl carbons, PFAS for short, a toxic artificial compound.
They last forever. They're called the forever chemicals because they're very persistent.
University of Notre Dame biochemist Graham Peasley co-authored studies on PFAS. His team uses a special particle accelerator to test fluorine levels in products.
They are used in over 1,600 different industrial processes and products. They make Teflon pans non-sticky. They make clothing waterproof.
He knows they
Look at his
poison
smile.
people.
Look, Joker. Yeah, look, Bill Gates' brother.
He's a chemist. He's a chemist, so he should be telling them that shit shouldn't be in there at all,
Yeah, fool,
or
right,
he's part of the problem.
He's part of the problem. Bill Gates' looking ass brother. Some shit like that. I don't know, man.
They make packaging waterproof.
In late 2022, Kerrygold stopped restocking its foil wrap butter to retool its packaging for California and New York ahead of new state PFAS laws. The company provided a statement that reads in part, "We will continue to ensure packaging for our products remains compliant with all relevant state legislation and regulatory requirements." Kerrygold's butter wrapping is not linked to bad health outcomes, but PFAS in general have been linked to certain cancers and other health dangers like high cholesterol and preeclampsia in those who are pregnant.
We've since discovered that all these PFAS are immune suppressants, so they suppress your immune system, and that means any opportunistic disease, including some types of cancer, could take over.
11 states now have rules either banning or reducing PFAS levels in items ranging from carpets, clothing, and cosmetics to food wrappers and containers. Many companies have voluntarily removed intentionally added PFAS from their products or packaging. The site PFAS Central by scientists at the Green Policy Institute lists dozens of companies with PFAS-free products, including Clean at Sephora, IKEA, H&M, and Chick-fil-A food packaging.
The big companies have pledged to phase out by 2025, and the smaller companies are already doing it.
Peasley says they're hard to come by, but consumers should start looking for labels that say no PFAS. Dina Demetrius, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Yeah, but that's
No
just
peaceful, y'all. No.
yeah, but that's crazy though, because they just replaced that chemical with another chemical, and they don't tell you about the one they replaced it with.
That motherfucker look like.
See, they didn't say the PFAS. They say, oh yeah, make sure it's PFAS free. All right, it's PFAS free, but what about the new chemical that you put in there? That's even worse. That's even worse than the PFAS that you ain't even got labeled.
Right.
What about those chemicals?
Damn,
And then
bro,
they
look-
say, oh, this got no PFAS in it, so they could raise the price.
Oh, that's that.
While you're looking at stuff
That's,
on the
no,
product,
that's what they do. They put no PFAS on the label just so they could raise the price another $1. But not telling you that it's another chemical in that thing that they replaced the PFAS with that's even worse than the damn PFAS.
PFAS.
Yep, is a
Man,
favorite
this
around
shit
the
is
world.
all
Look at these
rigged.
two
It's all
bottles. They
all
seem
this
pretty
shit is
similar. You
rigged,
got the
y'all.
one
This motherfucker look like Andrew Tate. Well, let's continue. That's just a quick sidebar.
from the UK over here and the US one over here. Just some differences in the packaging. But wait until you see what's also different with their ingredient list. Check out
Look
the
at that.
differences here.
UK
So for
and
the
the
UK
United
bottle,
States. Look at this.
All right, so UK just used tomato, spirit vinegar, sugar, salt, spice, and herb extract spice.
Heinz ketchup. There are about 6 ingredients, all recognizable, but that's not the same for the classic US one. Take a look at how much longer this thing.
Look at that shit.
Look.
Tomato concentrated from red ripe tomatoes, which is probably GMO tomatoes anyway. Distilled vinegar, high fructose corn syrup, more corn syrup,
More
salt,
corn
spice.
syrup. What the fuck? They just put so much corn syrup in there. They wrote that shit twice on the label.
Spice,
They just said,
onion,
fuck it, we
powder,
got so much
that's the
corn
flavor.
syrup in here. Let's just keep just writing corn syrup.
That motherfucker said high fructose corn syrup, more corn
And then
syrup.
corn syrup, more corn
Yeah.
syrup on top of that. Why you need all that damn corn syrup? And that's just GMO corn syrup.
Motherfucker said corn syrup, more corn syrup.
And more corn
There
syrup.
are 3 added ingredients in the US version. See this right here? High fructose corn syrup, and natural flavoring. Those ingredients have raised some controversy the past few years. For example, the Environmental Working Group says natural flavoring, natural, it's not actually that. It's pretty deceiving. To be clear, they're not saying the ketchup is bad for you, but they
They
say
trying to
it's an
take their
example of
asses
not
out,
always
yo.
knowing what you're getting. According to EWG, they say natural flavoring can contain mixtures of more than 100 chemicals. Heinz does not list exactly what natural flavorings are. They just say it's a mix of spices. Now, today, there are more than 10,000 chemicals and additives allowed in food in the United States, often in small amounts.
10,000
But they haven't evaluated
Deadly.
all of them at the FDA in decades. Doctors say the majority are safe, but some chemicals allowed here have been banned overseas after being linked to cancer and developmental or behavioral issues.
We need
y'all
to
hear
put
this?
the
Behavior
F back
issues,
into the
developing
Food and Drug
cancer.
Administration.
She's a congresswoman from Chicago who introduced a bill requiring the FDA to review certain chemicals banned
Was that the
overseas.
judge
If it
lady?
passes, it would close.
Oh, that ain't her.
Oh,
Bring it
shit.
Back into the Food and Drug Administration.
She's a congresswoman from Chicago who introduced a bill requiring the FDA to review certain chemicals banned overseas. If it passes, it would close what's known as the GRAS loophole, chemicals generally recognized as safe. She says this allows companies to skip an extensive safety review when adding many chemicals to food.
Well, the Congresswoman says we are far behind other countries in food regulations. Right now in California, there's a proposed legislation that would ban 5 common chemicals from all foods that are sold. California would be the first state to do this, and that could then trickle down to other places. It's not just chemicals, though. There are also heavy metals to watch out for. A new Consumer Reports investigation reveals a dark side to some of your favorite dark chocolate.
Our tests found concerning levels of cadmium or lead, 2 toxic heavy metals, in most of the dark chocolate bars we tested.
Consumer Reports tested 28 dark chocolate bars, and the results?
For 23 of the bars, eating just an ounce a day would put an adult over a level that CR's experts and public health authorities say may be harmful.
Long-term exposure to heavy metals can cause kidney damage, hypertension, and reproductive issues. Don't just assume that organic is better. CR's test found that organic dark chocolate was just as likely to have concerning levels of heavy metals as other products.
Okay, growing up, we were always told chocolate wasn't the healthiest option anyway, but fish is supposed to be one of the best things you can eat. Except doctors say some kinds could have high levels of mercury that could cause some problems. Possible health risks from mercury include impaired brain function, loss of smell, and developmental delays in children.
If you have a high mercury level while a brain is developing in a fetus, there can be cognitive issues later in life. So we're very cautious in a developing brain. So that is young children and pregnant women especially need to keep mercury away from those neurons that are developing.
CBS News medical contributor Dr. David Agus says certain fish have more mercury.
It's the larger fish and the deeper fish where you get the mercury. Swordfish, tuna, and other big deep fish have higher levels of mercury, very little mercury, for example, in salmon and trout and other smaller fish that are at the surface.
So for typical adults, it's best to not eat those fish too often.
You can have 1 to 3 servings a week of tuna, and as an adult, it would be very safe.
The doctor says, as always, moderation is key.
See, that might be BS right there. That might be BS right there. If that shit got that fish ain't got naturally high levels of mercury. And if it did have natural mercury in it, high levels of that, it's probably not going to be harmful to humans. But if it's some shit in there that's mercury that's harmful to humans, that's in that fish, they putting it in there. They contaminating the waters with that fish. Because a lot of that shit is farm raised, so it's in controlled environments of where they decide what goes into those fish tanks, basically. Or those fish swamps, because that's what they basically be. The shits look like a swamp. It'd be murky waters. Shit look like sewage water. They don't change, that they don't clean ever, and they be having them fucking tilapias and salmon and all that shit in there. And they be feeding it what they want to feed it. So if it got high levels of this, high levels of that, they giving them shits them high levels of that. You know what I'm saying? And if it's wild caught from the sea and it still got poisons in it, that's the oil spills and shit like that. Like that BP oil spill shit that happened years ago. It be the poisons. They be poisoning the environment. Cause the food wasn't naturally poisoned when it was put on the planet. Like fish ain't just naturally fucking poison. Like high levels of mercury and shit. If it got high levels of mercury and it's something that they're doing to the environment for them to have high levels of mercury. That's what we trying to get through to y'all. They be prancing this shit around on the news, but the establishment be the cause behind this shit. Man, if y'all haven't already, man, smash that like button, man. Y'all know we definitely got the detoxes on deck, the zeolite, aka Zeoaid, and plus we got the melanin splash. You know what I'm saying? For those of y'all trying to detox. You know what I mean? Of course, we got the CBD products on deck. You know what I mean? We got the CBD smokes. You know, our CBD smokes and all that is grown naturally, all herbal, no chemicals, grown in sunlight, fresh water. You know what I mean? Shit, that's why our CBD works so well. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know we ship fast. You know what I mean? We got the CBD pain bomb for those of y'all who be in pain. That shit got 2,400 milligrams of the CBD. You rub that anywhere on the body where it hurts, you definitely will feel a difference. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate all of y'all who've been shopping with us, man, and donating and all that. And liking our videos. Man, I'm getting tired as hell. We about to get up off of this,
our
y'all.
videos, all that, man. We appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? Getting this information out there, because it's definitely crucial to get this information out there.
Yeah.
Like you said, this information needs to be put out there so people can be able to make start making decisions for themselves where they don't even have to be subjected to this shit. I think the more you get educated on this, you can start making decisions for you and your family, man. Because like you said, they don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about your kids or none of that shit. Because you got to feed your kids this shit every day. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then a lot of people eating 3 times a day and just eating shit throughout the day. So it's like
snacking all day.
All fucking day. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, we appreciate y'all,
eating
man,
all
for y'all
day.
Right. We appreciate y'all that's coming in. I mean, that came in here. You know, that came through, watched the show and shit. And man, share this live, babe. Thank you for sharing the live stream again. I appreciate that. So, and the rest of y'all, man, definitely get this information out there to your peoples, man. Let them know what the fuck they got in their refrigerator and they goddamn cabinets. So niggas can start, you know what I mean? They talking about lessening the poison. Nah, people need to start lessening these fucking corporations. Lessening these corporations. That's what the hell need to be happening. They talking about lessening the poison, lessening it down and shit. Nah, lessening these goddamn corporations down. That's what we need to be lessening down. Because if they don't want to budge, then the people gonna have to make them move. People gonna have to make them move. Because they ain't gonna budge. They ain't gonna budge. So it's up to the people, man. Shit. And on that note, links to the shops is in the description of this video. Will be in the description of this video. 90daynetmarket.com, 90dayherbals.com.
Right.
And we also make sure y'all
y'all.
subscribe to all our platforms. Facebook, TikTok, X.com. We 90 Day Network on everything. Yeah.
And thanks for coming through, man. Peace.
We the Curry Brothers, night and day network. We bring awareness to the community, spreading consciousness. With the truth, we chase greatness. In the darkness, we shine like the brightest stars. Using our platform to break mental prisons. You know who we are. From the streets to the stage, we never back down. Constantly evolving, we wear the crown. Mindful warriors, we're changing the game. Never staying the same. Night and day network, we're here to stay. Bring awareness and consciousness every single.
Do you have neurological pain, chest pain, heart palpitations, headaches, brain fog, anxiety, insomnia, fatigue, and abdominal discomfort? With all the environmental disasters and contaminants plaguing our land, water, air, and food, we need something to counteract all the pollution that is making us sick. This is where zeolite comes to the rescue. Millions of people have been using detoxification supplements to remove harmful toxins, pollutants, heavy toxic metals, as well as to balance pH levels. Lower the risk of risks like cold and flu, support the immune system, and improve nutrient absorption. What is zeolite? Zeolite is a volcanic ash that forms over time when ash and lava react with alkalized water, resulting in a compound with a very strong cage-like structure and a negative charge. Zeolite is one of the most fascinating and powerful nature remedies available. Great to detox and balance your body. Health benefits of detoxing. The removal of excess heavy metals can improve overall health. Detoxification helps balance a body's pH levels. This product provides 30 capsules, 1 month supply, ships within 3 days. Purchase now at nightanddaynetmarket.com and haven't been evaluated by the FDA. We do not claim our product cure or treat any ailments. Please consult with your medical health care provider to see if ZeoAid will be right for you.
Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn